Hey everyone, it's Reena Jadhav with Health Boot Camps and the Live Longer podcast. And today we have Liliana Partida, who is amazing and who's going to tell us how you can stick to the weight loss boot camp meal plan and still eat out, which is so important. Otherwise, these things just fall apart. Liliana, what's the trick? How do we stay true to ourselves, to the new menu that we're working on, and yet go out and hang out with friends?
Well, that's a really great question. And one of the things that I'm a firm believer of is that we don't want to give up flavor, ritual, or social when it comes to a lifestyle plan, because really those things make us very happy. And when we're happy, we actually lose weight a lot better as well. But navigating a restaurant can be challenging, especially when you're with people really who aren't following the same protocol that you are following. And so I always tell everyone to really call ahead of time, look on the internet, what do they have that's on that menu, so that you're not stumbling when you're reading the menu and people are paying attention to what's going on with her, why is she taking so long, and so forth. Is navigate that menu before you go. And because there's always going to be a protein, whether it's going to be fish, chicken, or turkey that you can order. And then there's always going to be vegetables and salad. Now, naturally, when most of these entrees come, they're going to ask you if you want to have either rice or potatoes or some sort of a starch. And, all we have to do is just say, I'd love to just have extra vegetables. Could you just leave out the starchy carbohydrate? And I think pretty much most restaurants, because, most women are a little concerned about their waistline, that they're used to this. So I tell patients, don't be afraid to speak up, okay? And at the same time, we don't want to put limitations on those people that are around us as well. So when the bread basket comes, that's very, very tempting. Now, one of two things is, you can just, if they're all into the same protocol, as you just tell the waiter when it comes, don't waste it. We're not going to be eating that bread. So if it's just you and your husband going out or family member, it makes it really easy. When you're with other people, you have to be mindful. You have to recognize, why am I doing what I am doing? Right? And so, of course, sightseeing, we always get cravings, but a lot of times what I do is I just take the bread and I sip it, right? And I just get all those endorphins to my brain. It's kind of like I tap on something. I really want that food. Well, I can give all the sensation without really having to eat that. And so again, we want to just make sure we navigate the menu prior to going. And a lot of times too is maybe, you're going to an event at a restaurant and it's all pre-planned, or it's an office event. So I always say, be on the safe side and make sure you have a protein shake before you go, and just don't have any carbohydrates, just protein powder, almond milk, and a little bit of fiber. So you're already 3/4 of the way full. And so that will make you not want to be, indulging in things because you're starving and there's only pasta and lasagnas and things like that they're offering. And so again, there's always usually going to be a salad that you can, have so that you can be full. So either if you're going to an event that's potentially not going to have what you want, eat a little something before you go. And I think a protein shake is just really simple because it's not heavy and it's something that is easy and you don't have to spend too much time in the kitchen. And so again, we can always ask for substitutes. And if you grill and you broil and you bake, those are going to be, poaching is always going to be good. Don't order anything that's battered, because that's going to have some gluten flour on it. And we don't want anything that's fried, because it's going to have Franken fats and our body's not going to know what to do with those fats, right? Except for to stick them up against the arterial wall. And so again, watch for sauces. So I would stick with a fat sauce, like a béarnaise sauce, rather than, something that's going to have a lot of ketchup or sweet sauces or things that are kind of, a lot of the Oriental dishes have a lot of sugar in them. And so I always say, better to kind of avoid those sweet sauces or those salads that are like the Chinese chicken salad, because they're going to have noodles and sugars in them as well. So again, oftentimes I just even ask for a little bit of olive oil and vinegar, and I use that as a dressing, just so that I know that I'm not going to be exposed to any food sensitivities that could also cause water retention as well.
Those dressings can be upwards of 500, 600 calories just in the dressing. And so such a good point where, even if you get a salad, ask for dressing on the side.
Yes.
Well, you can take a tablespoon and douse your salad in it, instead of what they do, where there might be half a cup of dressing in just a little salad. And your salad is now suddenly more calories than if you'd had a burger, for example.
Right, exactly. And again, we're going to be talking about, you know, fat. And fat doesn't make you fat, but the Franken fats or the bad fats, they will definitely, because your body does not know how to use them. So I would say be on the safe side, order an oil and vinaigrette rather than a creamy ranch or a Thousand Islands or balsamic, because those are going to be more sugar and you don't know actually, you know, what might be in those that may cause you a little bit of water retention.
You know, the other thing, Liliana, I did, because I was, as you know, on a 15-month meal plan, and that's hard to do. That's pretty long in order to get my health back, and I got completely healthy. But it was extremely hard. And early on, what I did is I just didn't go out because it was just too tempting, and I knew I didn't have the willpower. And I had huge cravings. And of course, we're going to talk about cravings on the next video. So everyone out there interested in how to handle your cravings, make sure you watch that one. But so I knew I didn't have the willpower if I went out and they were going to have, you know, brownie Sunday. I was going to get into that brownie Sunday with my family. So, but within about 3 months or so, I think I was able to just completely re-architect my taste buds, and my body was very used to getting extremely healthy food. And so my cravings were not as intense. But one of the things that I started doing is actually taking my food with me. Because even when I would go, I would just worry because I had been so sick. I would worry that even if they're saying that it's poached or baked or there's no gluten, what if there is, you know, because it's a restaurant, you know, we don't know kind of what they're putting in the thing that they're basting something on or poaching. I would actually take my own food with me. And
I've been known to do that myself as well.
yeah, and you know what? The restaurants were very, very accommodating. So I would call in advance and say, look, I'm on this very special diet. Do you mind if I bring my own food? And would you mind plating it for me? And I'd say 80% of the restaurants said yes, including the very high-end ones. And so what I would do is I would take my food, I would give it to the server, and they would bring it plated with everybody else's food. So it wasn't like I was taking out my Tupperware, although I've been known to do that too. And I would make sure that I had made a yummy meal for myself. So there was, you know, a nice wild Atlantic salmon with a salad, etc. So my meal didn't look dramatically different from everybody else's meal, but I knew exactly what was in that meal. So that's the other thing that I would share with you is to, you know, as Liliana, you had said in the earlier interview, be vocal, stand for yourself, stand for your health. Don't be shy, don't be embarrassed. Don't worry about what the restaurant's going to say. Tip a little extra. So that's what I started doing. I just started tipping a lot more. Knowing that because I hadn't eaten, I hadn't ordered, you know, the total bill was less, but I would tip as if I had ordered as well. So that makes up to the server in terms of the fact that, you know, hey, a third or half of the folks in this room didn't order anything. But yeah, you know, that's another option that worked great for me. And that way I was able to go out Friday nights and Saturday nights and be completely guilt-free.
Excellent. Now, it's very important to be mindful. And when we're realizing that we're doing this for the long haul, we learn how to adjust and we don't have too much emotional breakdown about it. And especially when we're the next video, when we talk about cravings and the symptoms that we have, we start realizing when we eat these foods that really aren't to our highest interest, what happens? We don't feel good, right?
Exactly. And then also picking the right restaurant, you know, don't go to Thai food, don't go to Chinese.
Yes, it's very difficult. Yeah.
It's going to be impossible because to your point, even their salad is Chinese chicken salad, which as we all know is very delicious, but very sweet.
Exactly.
And fried noodles in it. So options. Wonderful. Liliana, thank you so much. And for everyone else out there, make sure you tune into the next one on cravings. And we hope we're going to see you on the Weight Loss Bootcamp, brought to you by Liliana Partida.